Hello, my name is Ramona Brown, and I just wanted to share with you a message that God gave to me while being in His presence and just fellowshipping with Him and just loving on Him. This message was so awesome as He began to give it to me. So I was spending time with Him and just thanking Him and began to look over my life, just over some of the things that I've gone through and a lot of the things that He's brought me through, and looking forward to some of the places that He's taken me to. And I just wanted to share this message with you because it was definitely a blessing for me. And so I pray that it is a blessing for you just as much as it was for me. He gave me this message on September 12th, 2021, and here it is. I have been beaten, battered, bruised, abused, and used. Yes, used, but this used is a different kind of used. You see, when God brings you through and uses you, this used becomes an exemplary and extraordinary kind of used. It's not the kind of used that you feel or experience when you've been beaten, battered, bruised, abused, and used by man. You see, when we are used by God, He places us in position and gives us the ability and the opportunity to understand something else divine. When you're feeling beaten, battered, bruised, abused, and used by man, I want you to call on the Most High, Jehovah Jireh, your King, your provider. Allow Him to lead you and guide you into that sacred place where He can hide you, clean you up, and use you. For those of you that may be wondering, what does she mean when she says beaten, battered, bruised, abused, and used by man? Well, let me tell you. You see, man is at the end of woman, human, and the beginning when we address the man over there. But I want you to understand something. Man is not to single out any men. It is to include any human form, including self. You see, not always does a specific being have to beat, batter, bruise, abuse, and use you. You can do those very things to yourself. You heard me? As my son would say when he was 2 years old and he wanted to be certain he had your attention, who is now 10 years old. So I say again, not always does a specific being have to beat, batter, bruise, abuse, and use you. You heard me? I'm not getting ready to rap Master P's lines. I've already explained to you. This is how my son would confirm he had your attention when he was 2 years old. Now, let's move along. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy by overly critiquing ourselves, allowing negative thoughts in our mind that devalue us as a person, staying in situations that we know we shouldn't be in, and going back to places and people that God has delivered us from, as well as trying to live up to someone else's standards of us rather than allowing ourselves to be transformed and used by God. I'm telling you, He wants to place you in position and give you the ability and the opportunity to understand something else divine. But you have to grab a hold to His unchanging hand and let Him lead you and guide you into that sacred place where He can hide you, clean you up, and use you. Be blessed and let God do the rest. You heard me?